money back, money back, money back, woo! Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all think so, don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways. Somebody call for the...
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Green Bay Packers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
3-0 versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in Week 4. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. As you get a peek at a man who entered the league in 2012 as a third-round draft pick, Nick Foles.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They go with Chubb on second down. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
A try here for the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Let's go. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Foles. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh, boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
A lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Foles. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
He spins free. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
He'll get it to the 23-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 22 carries, 119 yards, and the score.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Julio Jones. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
And that drive we just saw that culminated in a touchdown, exactly what many offenses are looking for. Sustained ones that can impose their will on the other team.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive 6 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's Foles. And his throw here's incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
44-yard punt, return of 9. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'll look to throw here on first down. Airing this one out for Evans. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And give him a gain of 37.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. and he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board, and come out of it with that.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Let's take a look now at how Green Bay will line up defensively. Right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
Definitely going to need to be physical with these receivers, whether that's right at the line of scrimmage trying to jam them and bump them off their routes, or when the ball arrives and you go ahead and put your shoulder into them and try and knock it loose.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
A gain of 7 that time, 2nd goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? It's a quarterback sneak. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. It's their quarterback with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll set up to throw. He's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quickly.
Throw left side complete. It's Douglas. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now back to throw. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
No gain on the play there. Second down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
No, I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game. I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He finds Douglas complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Here now, Johnny Townsend, standing just about on his own goal line. This is taken around the 12. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride because these
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looks like a Buccaneer was able to corral it. Yes, the Bucs have it. Tampa Bay keeps the possession.
Holding offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. He'll look to throw. Looking downfield for Jones. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. In for the score. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter. They'll look to throw here. Airing this one out for Evans. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
He'll have a first down past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. 23 yards on the play. This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it first and 10. They'll set up a throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up at the 40. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Douglas. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on first and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll throw now on the final play. Looking deep downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4. Matchup, we won't put up a fight. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a play fake here on first down. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throw left side complete. It's Douglas. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Dancing away at the 35. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Leopard! Leopard! Gone!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is going to be Packer football. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them. Big tackle, knock the ball free.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Why we saw that field goal try a moment ago, I'll never understand. But as a result, this offense, they've got to be pumped. 1st and 10 in striking position already. And they'll run it here. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Here we go now. Blue Lightning. Blue Lightning.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the... And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game being on the second half no matter what. Well, his first time.
Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Oftentimes when we talk about piling on in any subject, it's a negative. In this case, for this team, it's a real positive. Just scored. Now they go down, knock the ball free, get it back. They got a chance to really increase their lead and put themselves in the driver's seat.
On the other side, a little insult added to the injury. They're in a bad spot. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
And they'll go on the ground. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll go with a keeper, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. There's he does it himself and picks up the first.
Okay, I'll admit it. I'm a little surprised by that call. 2nd and inches. It did what it was intended, but it felt like it was a free play waiting to happen. I thought they might take a shot.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Now they'll switch it up here and lift a throw. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucks. Mike Evans, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucks are going to add on to their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That time a 6-play drive. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the posts. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
They begin this drive with Chubb. Breaks through the contact and past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe that there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open.
Here we go. Good. We need it.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Back to throw here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Foles, the left side throw complete to Evans. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
They'll give it to Chubb. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
He'll get it up the middle. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 1 yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now Foles. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
The field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
They'll drop the throw. Now he's forced out left. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. All that gets him is just 1 yard, and now it's 3rd down. The Bucks on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. What a throw right there for the 1st down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike and that big pickup?
Being chased out left. And this is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And Jones has it over the middle. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Here we go now. Green 30.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And now it's second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. He's got it. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
Missed.
He will not go down. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Well, not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 48 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. This is caught. And he's brought down. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll try and sneak it here. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Almost want to go Shakespeare here. My kingdom for a yard. Quarterback sneak, nothing doing.
Better be careful. Shakespeare might sue you.
Yeah, he might come get.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes, because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And